What is up, Midnight Tokers, Afternoon Hailers, and AM Hookah Smokers? This is the AM Hookah Podcast, your one-stop shop for everything hookah here on youtube.com/AM Hookah, and then also over on twitch.tv/AM Hookah, and we're also live on Facebook at the moment. I have no idea why our intro video is not playing or did not want to play for some reason. I don't know what happened there, so we're just going to not worry about it at all. I hope that everything else seems to be working okay. I am joined this week by the man that packs the best bowl at the expo, as voted by people that I heard from multiple times. I'm right here. Can't see. Akeem says can't see. Is the audio working? What the heck is going on? Everything...
The audio is working, but the video is not.
Let's see if it starts working now. I don't know what's going on. We're having some weird technical difficulties. We haven't been gone that long. We've been gone longer before. I'm joined by...
Podcast is still hungover.
I guess so. It's had a long time to try and recoup, and it still's not doing a very good job of doing it, I guess. But I'm joined by the Bracken Cox, hanging out with me here on the podcast today. I think we're on now. It looks like we're on now. Make sure to drop a like, share the video. Obviously, we're over on Facebook as well, and we're going to be doing some fun and exciting things as the time comes on. But yeah, okay, let me stop. Let me stop real quick and go back to Bracken. Bracken, you're joining me today. Our good friend Adrian is a little under the weather. He's been doing a lot of things ever since getting... So first off, he had a very long drive to go to Vegas, then to come back from Vegas. And then I was messaging him over the weekend, and he actually went up north and went kayaking. So the guy is just exhausted. The guy needs a break a little bit right now. So that's what he's doing at the moment. So I have Bracken Cox, our good friend, on the show today. How are you doing, Bracken?
I am well. I'm rested. I have recovered from the expo and having a good time. Glad to be on the show. Thanks for having me. I know I'm always in the background making funny faces and like reminding you guys to smile and not blow smoke in the camera, but you know, we're switching it up a little bit, and now I'm on camera, so I got to look at my webcam so that I can connect with the viewers.
So we have a really fun show planned for today. Let's break down the expo a little bit, talk about the funs, the ups, the downs. We have a lot to cover from the expo as a fan, from somebody who actually worked the expo as well, and the party after the event. It was Vegas, and you know what they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, unless it's a hookah story, which we are happy to divulge and talk about right here on the podcast, obviously. First and foremost, thank you guys so much for showing up to the podcast. We appreciate it, as always. What is up, Maggie? What is up, Bilu? What is up, Stefan, Raul, Chris, Maria, I think it's how you pronounce that. I could be wrong. The hookologist is here as well. So nice to see you. Maria? What did I say? Maria? I don't know.
Maria's in the building.
Derek is here as well.
It's me, Maria.
How are you guys doing? So happy to have you guys hanging out with us. This is going to be a fun-filled show. I can already tell. We have a lot to go over, obviously. Before we do that, though, we have a little bit of an age warning that Bracken would like to share with us.
Are you enjoying the AM Hookah Podcast? We're glad you are. Are you over the age of legal smoking in your area? We know you are. But if you, right there in the back, I can see you with the jewel in your homeroom, stop. Turn this off. Come back when you're 18 or 21, depending on where you live. If you don't know how old you have to be, Google, make sure, then come back if you meet the requirements. If not, get lost. Okay, we don't want you here. You're not welcome.
No.
But you are welcome when you have a birthday. And when you have your birthday, let us know. We'll shout you out.
We've never done that before. Can we do a birthday call?
Sure. Tell you what. I got DMs. You got DMs.
Yeah.
Slide into the DMs. If your birthday falls on the day of a podcast, let me know, and we'll shout you out.
As
we'll
long as
it's a song or something.
Yeah. Let us know the birthday week. Let us know your birthday week, and we'll shout out the birthdays for that week.
Yeah. Let us know if it's your birthday. I'm not gonna go look it up, but let us know. And if you're watching us from a lounge, let us know. We'll shout your lounge out. We just want to say thank you for being you and being awesome and watching us do what we do.
Yes, we appreciate you guys so very much. Please do let us know if it's your birthday. We'll start doing that as well. We'll turn this straight into a morning radio show, basically. And Yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun. All right, so that's going to do it for everything that we have going on Facebook. If you guys are watching on Facebook, head on over to youtube.com/AM Hookah to find out all the show, find out what we're smoking, find out what we got at the expo, find out what we think about the expo, all that stuff. Check out that awesome So-So handle that you have going on. Did you notice my handle, though? Did you notice?
I was not going to mention it yet, but holy moly.
Show up to the show on YouTube if you guys want to hear more information about that. I'm ending the live right now on Facebook. See you guys later. Bye, Facebook.
Bye, Facebook.
Bye, Facebook. All right, so now that we're done with Facebook, now we can really get into the, as they say, the meat and potatoes
The
of
nitty
everything.
gritty.
Yeah, the nitty gritty. Where is Adrian? Is what Muhammad just said. Adrian sadly is not going to be joining us at the moment. He is feeling under the weather. He's been doing a lot of stuff, and he needed a day. And I said, you know what? You've never missed an episode. This is actually weird for me to be here with Bracken because Adrian does such a good job when I'm gone. He has guest hosts, he mans the podcast, all that kind of stuff, and he needed a day to recoup a little bit, and I said, you know what, man, go right ahead and do it, and me and Bracken are taking over. Bracken, our wonderful producer, we appreciate him stepping up and being a part of the show today. Really, really do. It's going to be a really fun show. So we wish Adrian the best. We send our love and our thoughts to him and everything. Hope he feels better soon, and I think he's going to be on Friday's show. We'll find out. We'll talk more about that as the week goes on. Hopefully he's feeling better by then. Let's see. What else do we need to go over? I think that's it. So let's go ahead and get into the show a little bit more proper and talk about what it is we're smoking. Let's start with you, Bracken. What is it that you got smoking in your pipe today?
Did you do the intro?
I did do the intro. You didn't hear me?
But could they see you?
They
Does
couldn't
it count
see me.
if they couldn't see you?
It does sort of count, right? No? Does it not count?
I guess it counts. We'll count it.
Okay.
Two buckets before the buzzer.
What do you got? What do you have smoking right now?
I am smoking Nirvana Eclipse. It's their new line. And the flavor in my bowl is Dorado. It is their raspberry cream. It was a new flavor they released at the expo. Basim was on the show before the expo, and he was hyping up his tent. And, that tent was pretty cool. You could definitely see it from all around. But I like this tobacco a lot. Some people maybe didn't like the flavor as much, but I am a fan. And it just kind of goes to show that, everybody out there has got a different palate.
Yeah.
And if you like raspberry cream, if you like Nirvana Eclipse, give this stuff a try. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I didn't recommend it.
I will recommend it. I think it's very good. I'm a big fan of the raspberry cream flavor. I even packed it at the house, at the Hookah University house, and I had Maggie and Kenneth Salter both be smoking with me. I actually got to smoke out. One of the highlights of my entire weekend in Vegas, no joke, was being able to smoke out of Kenneth's custom Regal. That was like a highlight because we've seen this thing all over Facebook for such a long time. He's been showing this thing off. Of it. And just to actually be able to smoke it, it's a real thing. It's a real hookah pipe. And it was
real?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was fantastic.
Did he bring the whole setup with the matching handle and everything?
Everything. It was so cool. I thought it was awesome. But I had them smoke and try some of the Dorado, the raspberry cream, and I love the flavor. I think it smokes really good. They were not big fans of the flavor. They thought it tasted like medicine. I don't know if they just have had that sort of like taste before, so like they equate it to always being that kind of medicine taste.
I don't know. If this is what your medicine tastes like, please tell me, because I want to take that medicine when I don't feel good, because I like this flavor.
Very tasty stuff. We have a lot of people smoking in the chat as well right now. We have the Trifecta Natural Order being smoked by Jenica. I actually got to sit down and smoke with Jenica and Brandon. I got to smoke with Jenica and Brandon Opperman. Maybe this is a different Jenica. I'm not sure. I thought it was the same. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong.
I think it's the same. I think it's the same because earlier Brandon was saying that he packed a bowl of Natural Order. Okay.
I thought so. I was a little thrown off on myself, but I think I'm correct in that. Muhammad is smoking Alfakir Blueberry with mint in an Egyptian bowl. Classic. Always very, very good. We got some really cool people also doing some other stuff. Yes, Derek Moses saw and is saying alpaca handle buddies. Me and Derek Moses are alpaca handle buddies. I will get to this story very soon. I will get to this story and inform you of what's going on with this. Derek Moses, I just want to smoke my new hot box hookah. He actually bought a hot box hookah down there at the expo. There's some cool stuff being purchased.
And Nathan makes a cool hookah, man.
It's very cool. It's very neat. So I got smoking right now in my HEW bowl. I actually got two because my wife and myself are both VIPs, so I got two. So I can
fancy, huh?
I can show this one off, and that's what I'm actually smoking with right now. But I'm smoking some Trifecta Cherry Plum with the Azor Rio Mint, and this is smoking absolutely fantastic out of my brand new. Oh my gosh, check it out! My work bun hookah. I'm so happy to have this. It's so nice.
You enjoy it?
I'm loving it. This is the work bun handle. I had to trade it out for today's episode because I am smoking with my alpaca handle, which we'll get into. I promise I'm going to keep on teasing you.
Keep
with
dropping it. Just keep dropping hints.
We have Pipe Dream Hookah hanging out with us in the chat right now. Adrian, we hope you're doing well. We're wishing you a speedy recovery. Hope you're feeling better. But yeah, so let's go ahead and let's see what else we got going on. Oh, we have the pick of the week, which normally what we have happen is we have our Facebook moderator Austin pick out a picture from the Facebook group and then we highlight that and shout it out. But because I have so many pictures from the expo and all the people that I hung out with and all the people that I met and all the pictures that I took just randomly, we're actually going to do a slideshow. So right below us, you're going to start seeing a slideshow happen. And in that slideshow, you're going to see lots and lots of pictures from the entire weekend of events, stuff from the house, stuff from the show, pictures with people. I'm sorry if I didn't get a picture with you. I wished I would have remembered to ask you. If I didn't, please, in the future, anytime you see me out in public, ask to take a picture. I'd love to take a picture with you guys. Honestly, I would. But I'm going to go ahead and start that right now. So you should start seeing a slideshow of pictures happen throughout the entire episode. And yeah, so you're just going to kind of see all these different pictures that we have going on.
You've got 2 flavors in that bowl that are brand new.
Yes, I do.
So what's the first one? Trifecta?
Trifecta Cherry Plum.
Cherry Plum.
Yes.
What is that like?
Oh, man. It's a really nice, sweet blending of... So my favorite plum flavor is Alfacher Plum. Have you ever had Alfacher Plum? It's kind of a classic, I would say. A lot of people have smoked it.
I have had Tangier's Dark Plum, but they don't make that anymore. So if you find Dark Plum, please DM me where it is and how much it is, and maybe we can get it sent to me.
Yeah, I like how you're just abusing our fans.
No.
Just
it's
abusing.
my friends out there. I will pay you plus a little extra finder's fee.
So Cherry Plum has a really nice, not like a cherry pop, like a sucker variation of the flavor, but more of like a very strong drink or a concentrate, not necessarily a nectar, but a very
like
sweet.
Sweet, like maraschino cherry?
Kind of like a maraschino cherry, I guess. It's just a real sweet cherry flavor. And then
so not like Robitussin.
No, not right. No, it's not Robitussin, that's for sure. And then it also has the plum flavor in it is also a very... I have a natural plum tree that actually grows in my grandpa's backyard, so we get natural plums all the time. It's not as close to that as I would have liked it to be, but obviously there's mixture of flavors in it as well. It's more of like a heightened, sweetened plum. You're tasting both flavors really well, though. You are tasting the cherry and you are tasting the plum. It's a really good flavor. The other trifecta flavor that I picked up as well was the Concord Grape, their new grape flavor, and that is not ketchup, before you start to worry.
Concord grape. Is that what they used to make Welch's grape juice?
So it tastes a lot like a Welch's grape juice. That's what it tastes like to me. It tastes like grape juice. It's really good.
That sounds delicious.
I like it.
Growing up, I would always mix the grape juice and apple juice, but that was just me being a bougie little 5-year-old.
Geez, so you've been fancy all your life?
I mix juices. I don't mix shisha. Who knew?
Who would have guessed it? All right, so...
And then you have Rio Mint.
Rio Mint...
We can finally talk about Rio Mint.
Yes, and it feels so nice to get this out in the open. Rio Mint is fantastic. If you're looking for a really good mint flavor, Rio Mint is so good. It's so
Who makes it?
So it's from Azure and it's from their dark line, and it is such a strong mint flavor. So I found this out through multiple sources from the expo actually, because the first time that I tasted Rio Mint, my first thought was like, this is exactly what old school cane mint tastes like. Like legitimately. There was somebody that actually loaded a bowl. They handed me a hose and they said, "What am I smoking?" And I said, "Is this cane mint?" And they're like, "No." And I was like, "That's weird because it tastes just like, oh, is it Rio Mint?" And they said, "Yes." Like it literally tastes like old school cane mint. And I found this out. The same flavoring that they used to make cane mint with is what they're making Rio Mint with.
Really?
I found that out through multiple sources that I trust. I trust these sources.
Channels.
Yes. So I think it's true. If you're looking for an old school cane mint fix, this is the place to go get yourself some Rio Mint, which is a weird selling point for me, right? Like, it's a weird thing to be like, if you really liked it, go get this now because it's the same thing that it used to be, right? That's kind of weird.
Well, it's going to be different, right? Because Azure doesn't really have that, like, molasses flavor.
That's true. That's true.
So it's not going to be quite the same, but it's going to be like Azure's spin on it.
It's really good, is all I want to say about it. I really am
You like
enjoying
it?
it a lot. It was one of the things that I've been smoking it for a little while, and to get 250 grams of it and have it in my stock is like fantastic. Mixing it with everything, enjoying it very, very much. We have lots of stuff to talk about. We got the new Alfakar to talk about. We have just lots and lots to talk about. But let's go
Crap
ahead
match.
and talk about a little bit of news because the expo just happened and it's wrapped up and it's over with, obviously. But you should know that there's another meetup that's going to be happening very soon in October on the 5th. You can get the details over at the Facebook Chicago Hookah Meetup Facebook group. Head on over there, search for it. I think it's just Chicago Hookah Meetup. They're going to be doing it on October 5th in Chicago. They've done this 3 years in a row now, I believe. Maybe 4 years in a row, actually. No, I think it's only 3 years in a row. Put on by the guys over at Mason, and a bunch of other people obviously is involved as well. But if you guys are looking to do another meetup or you're close to the Chicago area where this is happening, I would definitely recommend looking into that because these meetups are so fantastic. They're so much fun to do. I can't wait to get your perspective from, because you were working the event. You weren't there as a fan or a consumer. You were there as hired help at the Eternal Smoke booth.
Indeed.
That must have been a pretty interesting.
Completely different. It was completely different from last year where I went as a consumer.
Yeah. That'll be fun to talk about. So that's about it for when it comes to news. Obviously, find out more information about the Chicago meetup. You can head on over, like I said, to the Facebook page. Just go Chicago Hookah Meetup, something like that. That's where you can get all the information for it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and start doing our dive. I'd like to ask the chat real quick. Who here in the chat actually went to the Hookah Expo? What were your thoughts about it? What did you enjoy about it? I actually have a Facebook poll that I'm going to pull up very quickly and go over just ever so briefly because we have some information about what people thought about the expo. Obviously, Hookah John put up a poll asking people what they thought their favorite place was to be at. I know that somebody else did as well in one of the groups. So like, there's a lot of different polls, but I'm only going to look at our poll because that's just, I don't know. I'm gonna pay attention to our stuff, as they say.
Why not?
Yeah. So let me find it real quick. There's so much going on. Where is it? There we go. Okay. So here's our poll that we have, and I listed as many as I could, and hoped other people would list them as well. We have 2 front runners for the favorite actual booth that was there at the expo. The very first one, coming in first place, was actually Eternal Smoke. That was a lot of people's very favorite booth. That's the booth that you were actually working at. You have the hat. I have a hat hanging up too, if you can find it. It was a very cool booth. My only critique about the Eternal Smoke booth, and this is going to be like I don't know how you want to take this, but I wished it was bigger. I wish it was a bigger booth because there were so many people there all the time. It was constantly full. There was so much foot traffic there. You can give us a better perspective about that. What was it like working the Eternal booth there at the expo? What was it like?
It reminded me of it was like flashback days of when I was a bartender in college, honestly. When I was working the bar by myself. And it really reminded me of like a Friday night or Saturday night when the other bartender called in sick or something. And so like it was just me for a couple hours just trying to like stay above the water. Mm-hmm. There was nonstop foot traffic. People were coming in. They wanted to sit on the left side and they just wanted to smoke. And they wanted to sit on the right side because they wanted to play video games and smoke, or they were standing in the center and they just wanted to talk hookah. And so I got to have a lot of different conversations with a lot of different people. And, it was a lot of fun. I was very busy. So if you came by and I was like in the zone or something, disclaimer.
You were worked. You were so you got sweaty when I said goodbye to you when I was leaving to say goodbye. You were so hot and sweaty. I assume it's just because you saw me coming up to you is why.
I was hot and sweaty because the mat was in the room.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
I needed a cold shower after that one. No, it was a lot of fun. I put my back into it, really. That's kind of how I am. One of those things like I'm not gonna.
What was the most popular flavor at the Eternal Smoke booth?
A lot of people were asking about, and this is like a very Eternal Smoke answer, but they have different lines in their brand. And a lot of people wanted to smoke something out of the Romance line.
Really?
Yeah. It was either Dolce Banana, Red Lips, Milk and Cookies, Pistachio Kiss. I
feel like those flavors in particular have gotten a lot of hype built up around them.
They have. And interestingly enough, there is a dark horse in the mix. And a lot of people don't know about it. I didn't know about it until the expo. It's called Midnight Passion.
Ooh, what is that one?
Okay, so it's part of the Romance line, but it doesn't have any of the same qualities as the other flavors, right? All the other flavors have like a very creamy dessert flavor. They're very sweet. They're not quite, almost like savory and warm, right? You'd smoke it when it's cold outside. But Midnight Passion was kind of like the opposite, right? So if you're going for dessert, but you don't want typical dessert and you want something maybe fruit based or a little more citric, it was mint, but it wasn't like a strong mint. So maybe like a little bit of menthol. And then the interesting flavors came from the play on lemon and cherry. So it's not like a lemon head or like a sweet lemonade flavor. It was very much so like a very organic rind, like just kind of like a little tart, kind of sweet, but not like sugar sweet, just lemon sweet, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. And then the dark cherry and the cherry there was just kind of like bringing out more of the lemon as well as kind of like that sweetness from the cherry. I smoked it and I was like, yo, this is good. Like that's all I said. This is good. Right. And I just kept smoking it. And then I realized, dude, you're packing bowls for the people. So I had to pass the hose over the bar and be like, hey, you need to try this. What is this? This is Midnight Passion. You need to try this.
Yeah, it was really good. You were packing some amazing bowls, by the way. Like, I do believe that the best packed bowls were over at Eternal Smoke. No joke. I really
Thank
do.
you. I really appreciate that.
They were fantastic. Everything that I smoked over at the Eternal Smoke booth, I thought were really, really good stuff. There were some other ones. So the other one that we have in our running for the best booth on our poll that we have over on the AM Hookah group is actually the AF booth, which was really cool. So that was the first thing that you saw when you walked into the entire expo center, was you saw the Alfacher booth, and they have this really cool new branding going on with everything that they're doing. They're using the AF moniker for everything that they're doing now. They have, sweet AF, they have chill AF, they have smooth AF, all that kind of stuff, which I think is really cool, actually. I'm a big fan of their new branding that they have going on. I think it's really, really cool. They had 3 flavors that they were showcasing. The very first one was their double apple with chili in it. Were you able to try any of the Alfacher flavors?
I wasn't.
Oh, that's too bad. I'd love to hear your thoughts about some of these. The double apple with chili, a lot of people liked it a lot. A lot of people had a lot of really, really
chili,
good things.
Like,
yeah.
Wait, when you say chili, like, I'm from Texas, so I imagine like a pot of chili, beans, meat. Is that the kind of chili, or are you referring to like the
chili
pepper chili?
Chili oil, like pepper oil, like peppery taste.
So like kind of spicy?
A little spicy. I got a little bit of like a cinnamon type gum flavor with it, personally, is what I thought. You got the anise from the double apple, obviously, but then you got that chili flavor, which cinnamon is the wrong word to use, but it's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head to kind of like describe it in some way. But it definitely had a really nice, like a spice note to it. It was pretty good. I didn't grab any of that. I wished I would have. I just didn't. I don't know why I didn't think about it. I got the number 7, which was actually the passion fruit and grapefruit mixed. And this stuff is really pretty tasty. I've been enjoying it. I've been smoking it quite a bit. I like their new tin that they have coming out with and stuff. It's very nice looking. The cut is still the regular AF cut, and it's still red dyed tobacco, which I have a couple of things that I would like to bring up and talk about when it comes to this, because they're referred to as craft batches, which I think is really weird. Because for something that is a craft batch, it seems odd to me that they're mass producing it. I just find that to be funny. It's branding. It's all that kind of stuff, obviously. I get that. It just seems weird to be referring to it as a crafted blend of tobacco when it's a mass-produced tobacco as well. To me, that's odd.
I think it kind of, you got to, right. So you got like craft beer. And like craft beer is not the same as beer from a microbrewery.
Yes, very true.
Right.
Very true.
So like, I think that's a really good way to help us distinguish the difference and like to kind of wrap our minds around like why they're using that word. Mm-hmm. I think when you say craft, like it's more intentional. Like it wasn't just like mint with grape or mint with a fruit or fruit and cream. Yeah. Right. It was like, what can we do different? And you said, what was it? Passion fruit
and grapefruit.
Yes. So like maybe they did some work and maybe they were like, all right, I don't know. When I hear crafted, I think I'm more intentional, right? Because if you drink a craft beer, it's obviously going to be different than like a Budweiser, right?
Yeah.
Budweiser is like, let's just make a beer. Mm-hmm. It has the 4 main ingredients and that's about it. And craft beer is like, all right, let's put different ingredients in and let's try and be spicy with it, you know?
Yeah. which is like the double apple with chili, obviously. And then the last flavor that they had there was actually a green tea with lemon, and I was not a fan of the green tea with lemon. I don't know if the hookahs that I got to try, I just wasn't feeling it or whatever the case was. Obviously,
Green tea, huh?
Green tea with lemon. I've had really good green tea flavor recently with Astro Tea. Astro Tea is green tea with lemon as well.
It's so good.
And it's so good that when I tried anything else with that same sort of flavor profile, I was like, this isn't as good as that one.
What did you get when you smoked it?
I got the green tea, but it wasn't a sweet green tea like the Astro Tea is. So it just tasted kind of blah in a lot of ways. And then the lemon that I tried at least was not very flavorful. I would love to know if there was anybody else that tried this and what they thought about it, actually. Brandon Opperman just said, I got a can of the green tea flavor, and as they were taking it down from the booth. Have you tried it, Brandon? Brandon, have you tried the green tea flavor yet? Let me know what your thoughts are with you packing it yourself. Diamond says that number 7 was fire. Matt busting out the work bun hookah, I see. Absolutely. Somebody else said AF wasn't my favorite, is what Bilu just said right now. Midnight Passion, sample smoking it later, is what Raul just said. There's a couple different things going on.
As like a response, like Raul and Brandon and all the people who are saying that they like these flavors or that they picked them up, do us a favor. When you smoke them, just let us know on the page. Jump on over to the AM Hookah Podcast Facebook page when you got your bowl going, and just let everybody know like what your flavor's like, if you like it, if you don't. That way, people can have like different perspectives, I think, because I really want to know what like Raul thinks that Midnight Passion. I want to see if he can taste the same things I taste. Maybe he picked something up that I'm missing, or maybe he's getting a different flavor. And I want to hear what people have to say about this double apple and chili flavor. Really, I'm interested to know about that. That sounds like a fun way to smoke that anise flavor.
So I'm noticing right now that there's not a lot of the pictures that I have posted that are coming through. It seems like only a few of them are actually coming through. So I'm going to make a small change to the slideshow and see if that helps change it up a little bit, because I want more of the pictures to be coming through right now, because there's a lot more pictures that I took that don't seem to all be coming through as they should. So I'm going to make a small adjustment and see if that helps it a little bit, so you guys can see more of the different pictures that I took throughout the week, because I took a lot of different pictures throughout the week. So coming in next was the Fumari booth. I didn't spend a lot of time at Fumari booth. It was very similar to what they did last year. They had their whole flavor bar of flavors that they had going on, which was pretty nice. They had a really nice lounge area set up so you could go and smoke yourself, which was nice to sit down, relax, obviously, a little bit. I don't know did you get to see any of the Fumari booth at all?
When I got like 30 minutes to take a break, and I took a right out of the AF booth, so I walked past Sky Hookah. I walked past the Aeon table, and I kind of ventured into the Sir Bentley booth because I stumbled across Moise, rip his chest hairs, and he was like talking a big game on their baklava flavor.
I was a fan.
You liked it?
I did. I got a box of it.
Really?
Yes, I thought it was pretty impressive.
Well, there you go. Difference of opinions. I smoked it once, and I was done. This is not for me. It was I could kind of see the nuttiness and the sweetness that they were trying to put, but for some reason, maybe it was the bowl, maybe it was old, maybe it was hot. I'm not sure, but it just didn't work for me. So, but like Moise, tons of people out there were like going crazy over this flavor. So obviously, like people out there like it. It's just not my kind of flavor.
Yeah. So so my wife went with me to the expo, and she hung out with me the entire time, and she was enjoying the time there quite a bit. And she is not like a smoker. She doesn't smoke hookah very often. Very rarely does she come and smoke with me or anything like that. But she tried like the baklava flavor, and she actually liked it. Really? That was one of the ones she liked. She liked the number 7. That's why we grabbed a can of it, actually, because she's like, we got to go get more of that one over there. But she was a fan of that one as well. She smoked just throughout it and stuff, but that was one of the first ones that she's like, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty tasty.
Isn't that fun when like the people close? Like I can remember like some of the first flavors that Ariel was like, I like that, and like when you hear that, you're like, I'm buying more, because you want to cater to their taste as well.
Yes. I'm hoping to bring her down here, hang out with me a little bit more, pack her a hookah and stuff like that. We'll see what happens.
Hey, soon she'll be packing bowls for you.
Hey, she used to. She's done it back in the day. Bilu says the Sherbetli green flavor was good, but I got some, and when I smoked it, it didn't last very long, is what he's saying about the Sherbetli. Sherbetli is kind of hit and miss. The flavors that I like from Sherbetli, I'm a big fan of, and the other ones are kind of like meh to me, but there are a few flavors in their line that I'm a fan of. There's some stuff in there that I'm a big fan of. What's up, Dr. Noob Sauce? Always nice to see you in the chat as well. Diamond Roberts joining us as well. Hope you guys are doing good. Make sure to drop a like on the video and share it out into the world as well.
Fun fact about Diamond Roberts: me and Diamond are not the same person.
Yeah, so Diamond was getting called Austin a few times. Sadly, Austin got sick during the expo and was unable to make it, so we didn't get to hang out with him, which was very, very sad. But there was lots of other cool stuff that happened, obviously, throughout the weekend. Still very sad that we didn't get to hang out with Austin. I was really looking forward to it. Let's see, what else? Where else can we go? What else can we talk about? There's lots of other booths that we can spend some time on if we wanted to. You want to just maybe get into the topics a little bit and see what we can kind of break down?
Yeah, debrief. What were the top three? Eternal Smoke was number one.
Eternal
Obviously,
Smoke,
I remember
number one.
that.
Alfakar was number two, and Fumari was tied with Sky Hookah Distribution as number three. And then we have a couple of comments as well. Are you ready to get into these a little bit?
Let's do it.
All right. So Chris Delgadillo, he says Eternal because it was hyped and it didn't disappoint. Plus, there was a very cool guy there by the name of Bracken Cox packing bowls, and there was great smoking and hospitality, which was key, is what he says about Eternal Smoke.
That's awesome.
Travis Green, got to hang out with him. Very cool guy. He said Eternal was cool because of the people working and the flavors. Fumari is always nice just to sit and smoke. AF was good because it had some new flavors. Tangiers was cool because George and Arby was there. Sky Hookah's booth had Dark Side, and who doesn't like smoking that stuff? Zoomerit had a really nice lounge setting and some good flavors, and who doesn't love talking to chams?
Zoomerit brought that, like, pimpin' car. Was that like was it a Land Rover?
Oh, I think it was a Hummer. I think it was a Hummer.
I think it was a Range Rover.
No, I think it was a Hummer.
Yeah, all right. If you got a picture of the car, post it on the page so me and Matt can know what it is. I'm pretty sure it was like a bougie Land Rover or something.
I'm only getting the first like 4 pictures of this show over and over again. I'm getting tired of this because I don't want those to be the only ones shown. I don't know why. I have a ton of pictures loaded up, and not all of them are being shown. I don't like this. It's the same like 5 pictures over and over again. I don't know what's wrong. I apologize for the slideshow not working. I will get these pictures posted up so that people can see them because there's a lot of really good pictures. Met a lot of really cool people. Got to hang out with tons of. It was a fantastic time.
It was a Mercedes G-Wagon.
Oh wow, we're both really far off.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know cars. I knew it was a bougie car. I know that I'll never own one, and would have been cool to sit in it. But
got to hang out with Bilu while I was there as well.
Bilu was cool. Did you know he's tall?
He is so tall. Oh my gosh, Bilu, you should have prepared us for that. You are a very tall man.
My man, pots and pans.
Oh my gosh. So the moment he shows up, right? People instantly knew who he was because of his voice. People instantly knew who Bilu was the entire time, which I thought was the coolest thing. It was so much fun to have him there, hanging out with us over at the frat house, and everything else, obviously. It was just a ton of fun for many reasons. Meeting him was definitely a big highlight of the entire event, was to be able to sit, hang out, smoke with him for a little while. That was really, really cool. I
forget who it was. I met somebody, and I knew who they were, but they didn't know who I was, and I knew them from the show. And so we were talking, and as they walked away, I was like, "You don't know who I am, do you?" And they were like, "Yeah, you caught me. I have no idea." And so I was like, and we're live in 3, 2. And when I hit 2, their face just, "Oh, you're Bracken." And so that was so much fun just to kind of get to like dupe somebody.
It was really cool. I appreciate everybody that came up and said hello to me during the expo and stuff like that. That was really, really cool to be able to say hello to people that are fans of the show. Super appreciative of that, because that's the reason why we do this thing, is because of that. For you guys, and for you to come up and say that you enjoyed it in any way at all is just absolutely fantastic. More than you'll ever know, honestly. All right, so let's go ahead and get into like the main topic, the main meat and potatoes of the show. Let's talk about the good. Let's talk about the good of the show. Bracken, what do you think were some of the highlights for your time at Hookah Expo Worldwide #3 from Las Vegas, Nevada?
I had a really awesome time, and this is going to sound cheesy, but for me, it was really the community. Like, I think that was my favorite part, was just really getting to have community with people in a way that's not over the internet. Not to discredit hanging out with people online and Facebooking, but when you get to be in the same room or in the same convention hall as people and share your hobby, to share your craft, it's so much fun. and there was such a good vibe. Everybody at the expo was there to have fun.
Yes.
And everybody was there to just be there and experience everything. I think a lot of the booths really came out and showed up. And as the show progresses, as it gets more serious and has more credit behind its name, as more people start to come, you're going to see booths doing that. No longer are the days where you can like just kind of wing it, and so like even the small brands were showing up, and that was so much fun.
Yeah, I think a big credit to that, honestly, is if you look at the hookah battle this year. If you look at what happened at the hookah battle this year, which was a phenomenal outshowing for what they did, it showed the improvement upon what happened last year. Last year, obviously, David Harris, his team with Spry Hookah, with that beautiful watermelon that was carved in his custom 3D printed hookah, they won, and they were by far the coolest looking hookah last year, right? And this year, everybody had really cool looking hookahs. There was somebody that built a roulette table. Jack from Oasis built an actual working roulette table that he was playing games with people at the expo. That was phenomenal. Oh my gosh.
That was a huge step up. Last year, I think David and Christian Pennington and Stefan, that was the team. I think they were the only team that actually like tried to create a new type of experience. Everybody else just kind of was like, hey, I'm going to pack a good bowl.
There was a hookah at the hookah battle that you spun a wheel. And
I saw that.
And it said smoke, no smoke, maybe smoke. And depending on where it landed, the hookah would either allow you to smoke or it would not allow you to smoke. That was so cool.
How bummed were you when you spun the no smoke? Did they let you re-roll?
They let you play around with it a little bit. And it was really cool because the smoke allowed you to take a full draw. The no smoke allowed nothing at all. And then the maybe smoke just gave you like this very like restricted, like you're smoking out of a Syrian pipe or something like that. It was just it was so cool. It was so cool. Somebody made a boombox.
Yeah, I saw that. It was like in a speaker. It was like a subwoofer with some hookahs hanging out of the top.
Yes.
Did they like daisy chain all the hookahs?
Yes, that's what they did.
That's pretty cool. Did you see the cheeseburger pizza, the cheeseburger one?
I did not see it. I don't know how I walked past it, but I did not see the cheeseburger hookah, and it had Tangier's bacon in it and WTO beef in it.
Yeah, I heard. I didn't get to smoke it, but people were telling me like it tasted like a cheeseburger. And the thing it was a cheeseburger bowl. Yeah,
the bowl was an actual cheeseburger.
Which is like, what? And then like you smoke it and it was like, okay, like that is what it tastes like. I don't know if like I'm going to sit down and I'm going to smoke an entire session of Tangier's bacon and WTO beef. I'm sure there might be someone out there that like packs that and enjoys it. I don't think I'm that person, but it was very creative.
That is exactly what the hookah battle is supposed to be though. And that's like the best part about it. Stefan, I have your picture in this. It's not working. My pictures are not working the way that it's supposed to be showing. It's just showing the same ones over and over again. I don't know why that is. I'm going to move away from it at the moment because of that reason, actually. I apologize. I will get more pictures posted on our Facebook group so that everybody can see everything that we have. I don't know what's going on. It just is not working the way that it's supposed to be working. So yeah, there's just some really cool stuff there.
Technical Difficulties is a show that we have on the podcast every Friday.
Yes.
It rotates. So because we're experiencing technical difficulties, we're going to take this moment to shell and advertise and say, don't forget, on Fridays, if you're looking for more content, check us out. It's a rotating schedule. It doesn't happen every Friday, but there's a good chance that this Friday it will be a technical difficulties, and you can watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty great. Oh, Stefan says, no, I'll send you the hamburger hookah. Please do. I'd love to post that on the group. Or in fact, you post it on the group if you don't mind. I'd appreciate that. Tell us your thoughts on it if you got to smoke it as well. So I want to give a shout out also to Daniel Partnage, who was at the hookah battle doing it for the third time in a row. And he actually did a mixture. He did a basic looking hookah, but the actual smoke that you got from the hookah was a Thai coconut soup was what it was. And it actually tasted like a Thai coconut soup. It was really, really cool. It was really neat.
Yeah.
So some of the other really cool things that happened at the expo as well, besides that, I loved the variety of this year. There was everything that you could imagine. There was hookahs, there was tobacco, there was accessories, obviously. There was a little bit of everything. People were showcasing, people were selling, people were tasting new flavors. Mia Hookah, actually, they're going to be coming out with a tobacco line, and they were testing out the flavors there at the expo as well. I tried a few of them. I was impressed with what I tried there. I thought that was very cool.
Were they good?
I thought the ones that I tried were good. They had one called like Vegas H2O. That was really tasty. They had one called like
what did it taste like?
Vegas H2O was a mixture of like cantaloupe and mint and something else. Maybe it was like strawberry or something like that. It had a really nice taste to it. Their Red Dragon, I think is what it was called, was like a passion fruit or a grapefruit flavor. It was really tasty as well. There's some really cool stuff. I think Mia Hookah for the last few years has really been stepping up their game in form of their hookahs, and now it looks like their tobacco as well, which is going to be pretty neat. It's a German tobacco. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it was or wasn't. And then the other booth that I really liked as well was Chaos. Chaos had a really nice booth. It was like dead center in front of everything. It was right in front of the Eternal booth, actually. And it had a very big booth, and it had a lot of seating. It had a lot of hookahs going at all time. And every hookah that I tried at the Chaos booth, I enjoyed. I cannot wait for this branded tobacco to hit the U.S. market because I am ready to scoop up as much Chaos as possible. I thought.
What can you tell us about the tobacco itself? What kind of tobacco is it? How's it hit? How's it smoke?
So I didn't get to see the tobacco, but it definitely smoked like a blonde. That's my first thought about it. It was very smooth. It was very light, but it wasn't light in flavor. It was only light in smoke, which I thought was really good. I really enjoyed. They had one called El Patron, which to me tasted exactly like a non-alcoholic version of a tequila. I thought it was really good. They had an Iceman, which was just a basic mint flavor that was really good. They have their own version of Foreplay on the Peach called Foreplay on the Peach. So that was a little weird, but it tasted really good as well.
I have to change the name if they come over.
I think they should. I think that it would be the right thing to do, obviously, just for many reasons, obviously.
Just call it like Peach on the Foreplay or something.
There you go. Just switch it up a little bit. There was a couple others that I can't remember the exact name of, but everything I tried from Chaos I thought was really good. I sat there the most of anywhere else because there was always a seat, not because they weren't busy, but because they had so many seats. That was another thing, is that everywhere was busy. Everywhere had people in it constantly. Every booth was filled all the time. There was lots of people enjoying everything that was happening there, which made it a lot of fun to like not only experience conversations with other people. I sat down at the Chaos booth with Christian over at Hookah Enthusiast and literally sat and talked to him for like 30 minutes. And that was like a highlight of the entire experience, was to sit down with someone that I've been speaking to online for multiple years, and to share a hookah and talk for 30 minutes was fantastic. Like, that's exactly what I was looking for and hoping to enjoy, and it was fun the entire time. Some of the other booths, I'm trying to run them down in my head, obviously. Sherbetli had a very nice looking booth. It was
What was your favorite booth? Everybody voted on theirs. What was yours?
So my favorite booth, my favorite looking booth was actually...
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's break it down like that. Like, which booth did you think had the best, like, curb appeal or the best function, if you will?
The best curb appeal, in my opinion, easily was Zomo. Zomo, I thought, looked so nice. They look so sleek. They look so modern. They look just sexy. Like, They were the
booth on the far left that had the white build out, right?
Yes, and it just looked so clean and crisp. I just loved the look of Zomo. Their booth was, in my opinion, the nicest looking booth of the entire place. I loved that place. I thought it looked like what I expected the Hookah Expo to look like, because it was so big and extravagant, but it was still so like subtle and modern still. Like, I just love the layout. I love the way that it looked. I thought it was really cool. Bilu says AF by far, which is funny because Bilu actually didn't like the tobacco there, but he enjoyed the booth. The AF booth was really cool because the way that they did it is they gave you this little bracelet, and they had
I saw that. What was the deal with those bracelets? Everybody had them on.
So they had 3 different booths in the inside of the AF booth. And the first one, you would scan your little bracelet, and it would give you like this little like a boomerang type video that you would make, and then it would send it to your email so that you could then use it later on.
Cool. That's what everybody's posting.
Exactly. That's all from the AF booth. And then there was another one. Once again, you scan your bracelet, and it gives you this like tiny little clip of like 5 seconds where you're like in front of like this thing, and you're holding the can of tobacco, and you're holding a hose, and you're like doing this. I did this little thing where I'm like, oh yeah, good. You know, stuff like that, which was a lot of fun. They had another one that was not a 360, but like a 180 camera. It was like a panorama view, and it took all the pictures at the same time. So it made you look like you were in motion. You may have seen the one with me, Derek's sister Devin, her husband, my wife Bridget, and we're all sitting acting like we're driving a car, and the camera just kind of goes like this as you're standing there, and it just took all the pictures at the same time. That was my favorite picture that I took, was with Derek and Devin and her husband with my wife. That was so cool. That was a ton of fun, and to have that, you know, you take the picture and then they send it to you, and then you can post it on your social media and stuff like that. That was super cool, obviously.
See, it's like all these little intricacies that I didn't get to be a part of that I'm so glad that people get to explain to me, because all I saw was wristbands. And I thought, oh, that's cool. They're handing out wristbands. You know, everybody's got AF on their wrist. But now it's like, And it had a purpose. It had a little RFID chip in there. And that's so cool.
Yeah. And then after you did all the booths, you go up to this little slot machine. And if you won on the slot machine, then you got something. That's actually where I got my hat from, is I won on the slot machine and I got a hat. So that was pretty cool too, obviously. Let's see. Let's go ahead and talk about, somebody in the chat, Derek actually just said that Chaos didn't manage their hookahs at all. Let's see what else he said. They might have had the best tobacco, but their booth was a sad excuse for one. Let's be real. See, I actually had a completely different experience with Chaos, which is the kind of falling into like the bad category of what the Hookah Expo is, right? There's always going to be times where you go to a hookah and it's either too hot or it's burnt or just a multitude of other problems, right? And you're not going to get the best experience possible sometimes. I did not have that bad experience at Chaos. That's why they won me over personally. I thought they did really good. Oh, Basim and Nirvana Tobacco, he did exactly what he said he was going to do, and they pitched a tent there at the expo. They pitched the biggest tent of any tent there by far. And it was just so cool. You walk in underneath the tent and there's just like seating, like it's Middle Eastern, and it's just very chill and relaxed, and you just got to hang out. That was a lot of fun as well. They had Doka there as well that you could smoke and try. That was really cool.
You've had Doha before.
Yeah, I've had Doha.
How do you say it? Doha?
Doha, I guess. Medwa. I don't know. I don't know how to say these things.
You've had it before, but did you enjoy it? Did you get to smoke some there with Basim?
I did not smoke the Doha there at the expo. I didn't want to get too elevated while I was hanging out, because that stuff can hit you like a brick wall sometimes, and I did not want to have to be dealing with that kind of buzz.
You had all the floor mats. You just hit it and take a nap.
That's exactly probably why they had it set up the way that they did. So the Alpaca booth, selling all their awesome bowls, and they were selling the clay screens if you bought one of their lipped alpaca bowls. They had these for sale, but they had a very limited supply of these. These are the alpaca handles. There's only 5 of these in the entire world. I went up and talked to Omar immediately when I found out about these, and I was like, Omar, I got to get one of those. Luckily, I was able to get one from him. I believe the last one they had, they weren't able to sell because it was actually plugged, but this is fully functional. This is the only time you're ever going to see me use this, because after this, I'm just going to hang this up on the wall. I'm not going to use it again. It's really cool. It's made out of the clay material, obviously. It just has a really nice, cool look to it. You'll notice this little white spot right here. That's because that's the tongs where they grabbed it when they took it in and out of the glaze. So it's just, it's really, really cool. The alpaca booth was cool. They had the alpaca there as well, like they did the year before, and the year before that, I believe, as well.
This year they put them in a cage so that they couldn't attack people.
Well, they put it in a cage, and I think they still walked it. Maybe they didn't walk it around. I didn't notice it this time, at least.
Last year the alpaca was a little moody, so hopefully they got nicer alpacas this year.
Well, somebody was like,
the alpaca last year, I walked up to it and it legitimately gave me a side eye. Like, I've never seen an animal give a side eye as strong as that alpaca did last year, and I was like, okay, I'm not getting close. Like, I wanted to pet it, I wanted to take a cool photo, but like, if I still have the photo, I'll post it. But it's like me, and then like a little bit farther away than I wanted it to be was the alpaca, because the thing was like, hey, I don't want you too close to me.
I got a really good picture with Bridget and the alpaca that I think just looks like she's having a blast. I really like that picture a lot. Next to the alpaca booth was Ugly Tobacco, and they were doing a really good job showcasing their flavors. They just had 2 tables set up with a bunch of hookahs. I bought some Triforce, so I can't wait to smoke that. I haven't had an opportunity to, but it smells wonderful. I have, all the faith in the world that it's going to come through really good, so I'm super excited to try that as well. 360, we're doing something kind of cool. They just had regular Egyptian hookahs, but they had pineapple bowls on their hookahs and stuff like that. I tried a few of their flavors. They had a pan flavor. I like pan flavors. I think they're pretty tasty. They had a pretty good tasting one of those. Let's see, moving on from there. Trifecta was actually with Nirvana Tobacco as well. They were kind of the same booth. They were right next to each other. So they weren't
they had a table, right?
Exactly. They had a table of their stuff, but they were smoking the Trifecta tobacco inside of the tent as well. Let's see, where else can we go? Oh, Hookah John had a really, really cool booth as well. They just had a very nice big layout with some seating around as well. And then they were showcasing all the Hookah John products, obviously. Walking up to Hookah John product with my VIP lanyard. That's how I got the VIP bowls. Look at these. These are just awesome. So nice. They're already starting to microfracture. Some people are posting some pictures. I think it's the glaze that is just very not heat resistant, so you're going to see some of those cracks start to come through.
It's a lighter color too. Like,
it is,
definitely you see that with a lot of your lighter color bowls. You can definitely see it start start to age, but as long as it's not leaking.
Yeah. So another booth that was over there was called the World Hookah Market, which was a really cool booth, and I actually picked up some really cool bowls from it. I was going to use this on top of the work bun hookah right now, but I decided I wanted to show it off more than I wanted to use it to smoke. I have smoked out of it. It's a very good bowl. It's just a standard funnel bowl, but just has a really nice, like, I don't know, kind of like bone look to it. Just it's unglazed on the outside. It just has a really cool look to it. And then I picked up this bowl as well.
That has a very beautiful glaze.
Right?
Have you used it?
I have not. This is going to be a dark side bowl. When I'm going to smoke some dark side with this because of the.
Those holes are huge. Your dark side's gonna fall right through.
Well, I'll figure it out. It'll be okay. I'll clean the hookah right after. Yeah. So I got those. And then I actually went over to House of Hookah because when you're in Vegas, you have to go to House of Hookah. And I picked up one of the Tangier's Pico bowls because I've never had one, and I've already used this a couple of times with my Tangiers. Absolutely love it. I can't believe I've never had this bowl. This is fantastic. It's really cool.
It's a staple.
Oh, yeah, by far. I picked up some Azure tobacco as well. I got the real mint, obviously. I got the strawberry guava. Strawberry guava is fantastic. Really, really good stuff. Really enjoyed it a lot. Did you get to buy anything from the expo?
I did.
Okay.
I bought a so-so handle. I really wanted one. I like the length. And it's got some weight to it. So, like, when I'm playing video games or sitting at my desk, I can just set it down, and it will not slide off. So I have a lot of handles that I really like. Shout out to Resin Kings. This handle is amazing, but it's slick, and I have a giant mouse pad on my desk, and it just slides right off. So I use this in the living room, and I'm put it on my lap or on the couch. When I'm playing games, this hose will just stay there. It's why I like the Neural hose so much, because it just works. For me.
I gotta hold that there, and it's so heavy. It's so big.
These are not lightweight, and I really enjoyed it. I had a great time at the expo, but I had a different experience than you. You're talking about how you got to go around to all the booths, and I was kind of at one place the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a much different experience.
So, in terms of the busyness of the booth, out of curiosity, I know you can't speak for the entire expo for a lot of reasons, but in the entirety of the expo that you got to see, what did you think of the foot traffic that actually came through and the amount of people that were there? Like, what did you think about for this? This was a lot larger than last year's, obviously. I noticed that there was a really big uptick of the amount of people there as well. Like, what did you think of foot traffic wise coming from an actual booth?
Yeah, I got to see it all. Like, I was right there in the front, and from my perspective, like the booth I was in, Eternal Smoke. Shout out to Joe and Angela over at Eternal Smoke. If you don't know what it is, this is what it is. It's an Orlando company, so hometown swag. It was really awesome just to see how many people were trying to get in. And that might fall into the good. It might fall into the bad. Depends on your perspective. If you're at the front of the line, didn't bother you.
Yeah.
If you were waiting to get in and you got to see everybody enjoying bowls, everybody who smoked hookah knows the bowl is only good until the bowl's bad. So you don't want to and I know that kind of, duh, but you want to get there and you want to smoke it when it's good. And so that was my job at the expo was they brought me on to kind of help them manage their hookahs and pack their bowls and keep the heat right. And so that was a lot of fun. I imagine that's what it's like to work at a lounge or something like that. So new respect to everybody who runs good lounges and keeps bowls going because it's nonstop.
Oh,
but it was fun. It was fun to see the foot traffic and just kind of like look up and realize, oh, there are like 20 people here. And it was a 10 by 20 booth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of people,
Derek says that's what the keychains are for, by the way, so that you don't have to worry about your hose slipping off. You can just put it right inside of your keychain and keep it all in one place. You got to get yourself a keychain, Bracken. I
have one, but with the keychain, it's down on my hookah, which is on the ground. And I bend over. It works. I know it works, and it works if it like plays into your scenario.
Yeah.
So these were my two purchases as well. I stopped by the alpaca booth.
Very nice.
Two beautiful bowls. I have this is the Apache Small. I've really wanted one of these for a while, and I was really pumped because this is a very small bowl.
That's nice.
So looking at my finger, like it barely fits. So it doesn't really fit in there sideways. So I can do like a very small amount of tobacco. So if I ever get my hands on some dark side, which I did, thanks, shout out to whoever sent it to me. And this bowl will be great because I can pack it light. I can kind of fluff it in there and it'll just work. Plus, I really like the aesthetic, the blue and black. It's a sexy bowl. And this one caught my eye from the moment I walked in, right? Ooh. It's just got like your earth tones and your cross hatching, and it's a mini rook. And I've always wanted a mini rook since I smoked out of one with Travis, leader from Hookah University. And I loved this bowl so much. I told myself if I ever had the opportunity to buy one, I'm going to buy it regardless. And I walked in, it was sitting there. It was just like, hey, Bracken, I'm here. And I was like, hey, I'm here. and I bought it.
There's something so special about being able to go in, grab the product that you want, and actually buy it. And I think that that's so cool. You don't got to worry about shipping. You don't got to worry about time waiting. You just go in, you grab what you want, and you're done. And that's fantastic. Bilu just asked a question. He said, and if you guys have a question, please drop a question mark in front of it so it's easy for us to notice and see. He says, best product from the show. I love the small all-in-one hookah. Forgot the brand. I wanted to buy one, but they sold out. I believe that was the AM Hookah, the little travel one that they had.
The Viro.
The Viro, yeah.
Yes, I got to smoke out of one of those at the mansion.
Yeah, Jeremy bought one, and it's pretty cool, actually.
You look at that little pipe, and you're like, okay, it's a little travel pipe, right? You just kind of let the mental meh. But don't sleep on that little thing. Like, if I needed to buy a travel hookah, I'm going to buy that one because looking at how small it can like break down and then like when you draw in the draw, like that's the best part. It's like it doesn't have a small hookah draw.
Yeah,
and like
no, not at all.
I was like smoking it, like how the heck does this thing work, right? Because the hose actually connects to the bottom, which is like so counterintuitive. But when you see the top come off and you realize that it actually does like an inverse thing, so like it goes all the way down and then pulls up. I was like, this is neat.
Jeremy actually just jumped in the chat right now. He says that he loves it. It is a very cool hookah. And here's what I liked about it. Did you notice how it purged? Did you purge it at all?
I didn't need to because Jeremy packs good bowls.
Very true, but it does not purge up, which is the problem with these travel hookahs sometimes because they're so small, you get water in your bowl, right? This purges directly out through the bottom of it as well. You're pushing air not up, but through. And that's why I think it purges so well, which is something that small hookahs sometimes do not do well, is purging. And this one purged very well, and I think that was a big reason for it as well. The Hookah Bandits were there, obviously. They did a really good job DJing the entire event. I thought they did a fantastic job. It felt like there was a lot of stuff happening throughout the entire event. There was musical performances, obviously. There was the hookah battle that happened on stage as well, which was really cool. There was just so much happening at all times, and it kept it busy. You know, this time they actually extended the hours for the first day. It was from 12 until 8, which is a lot of time to be inside of a expo, but they had a lot going on throughout the entirety of it, which really helped a lot as well. Let's see. You didn't get to go over to the Tangiers booth then, did you?
I actually made an effort, and I walked over there, and I got the smoke out of a bowl that RB packed. It was strawberry and cane. It was, I mean, it is what you expect. RB packs good Tangiers bowls. He owns a lounge. I don't want to equate a man to only packing bowls is what he does for a living, but he owns a lounge, and you have to have good hookahs in order for people to come back. And it was a very enjoyable smoke. Me and my wife actually spent most of our time drooling over the table of those custom resin Regals that were just right next to it, like way out of my price range. But those hookahs are beautiful. Like I can't imagine ever getting one and then using it, simply because I would like if I bought that hookah, I would need to buy a house with a mantle just so that I can put that hookah on the mantle and be like, welcome to my home. Look at my hookah.
They actually did a raffle for one of those custom hookahs. It was valued at $1,200, and they had it was a $5 ticket, and I had to get one. Obviously, I didn't win it. No, I didn't win it. But it was totally worth it to enter into the drawing for $5 and maybe win it, obviously, which was really cool. Maggie, our good friend from the show, obviously, she won a shirt at the Tangiers booth, so congratulations to her. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see, what else do we have to talk about when it comes to it? Azor did a pretty fun job over there at the corner where they were located. They were selling tobacco, obviously. They had a lot of their flavors on display, so you could try them all out, which I actually think it's underrated how nice it is just to have a booth that has a full table of hookahs that you can just walk up to and just start smoking. I think that that's really nice, and it's almost underplayed in a lot of ways. Like, to be able to just go up and try a flavor right away is something that I really think is nice, especially when you're just walking around the entire expo area and just seeing what everybody has to offer. They had Rio Mint, obviously, as we've said multiple times before. Fantastic flavor. Go get yourself some Rio Mint. Like, seriously.
You have the opportunity to meet Tony?
Yes.
Wait, Tony, right?
You mean Ronald?
No, from Azur.
Oh yeah, Raphael. Raphael was there hanging out a lot of the time.
Who's the big dude? Tony, right?
Tony? I didn't meet Tony. I don't know.
Oh man, he's a homeboy. He's
okay,
cool.
I didn't. Yeah,
he's cool beans. I like rank him right up there with like Bilu as like first impression. That dude's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Geez, very cool. High compliment right there. Comparing him to Bilu.
I mean, they just have that persona, you know. They're like, yeah, I'm a dude. What's up?
So Work Bun had a very, very small booth. They just had 2 hookahs set up, and they were selling their stuff as well. And the moment I saw this hookah, I was like, that's the hookah that I think I'm going to buy. Because I was going to buy a hookah regardless. I almost bought the AM hookah. I thought that was fantastic looking. It's so sexy. The glass vase is really cool on it, obviously. You were working with the AM hookahs the entire time that you were at the expo.
Yeah, I fell in love with those pipes.
Yeah, I want to hear your overall thoughts because you got the most use out of them in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, so like a couple of our pipes didn't have the built-in diffuser on them.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they weren't there. That's okay. They still work. And I would say like the first couple Aeons that I packed, I really struggled with to get that water level just right. Because you don't realize it, but like it has a really small amount of water that it holds. And so you have like a really small window where you can put your water level and it's not going to flood your hose.
Because the actual bottom part, that glass part, doesn't get water in it, right? Yeah, it's all flat. Yeah.
It doesn't. It's almost like a two-piece. Like they connect the bulbous-looking part to the glass base, which I was a big fan of the glass base. You know, it has a very nice aesthetic.
Yes.
The Aeon itself was very well built. You know, it's got one of those screw-on hearts. And then the mid part of the downstem screws in. And then the top portion, it just slip fits right in. So it was a pretty cool setup. I really enjoyed it. The purge worked well. You know, dialing it in, learning the hookah. I think the second half of the first day and the second day, that was really like your best chance to get like the best performing pipes from the Eternal Smoke booth, just because I'd had like enough opportunity to be like, all right, this is what you do, this is what you don't do, and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. Like those Aeons, man, they're beautiful pipes. Everybody was, oh, what are these? I'm like, oh, they're selling them down there. Oh, I'm gonna go check it out.
Stefan has a question. He says, Bracken, did you try Cashmere Black?
I did not try Cashmere Black. What is Cashmere Black?
I'm not sure what he means by that. I did not try Cashmere. I didn't see that at all as well. Diamond Roberts also has a question. He says, Matt, can you do your wizard voice? So Maggie and Kenneth and Diamond came back to the Hookah University frat house where we were all hanging out, where the really fun after party was going on. And we played this game called Battle Wizards, which is a board game, card game, where you are fighting each other and doing all sorts of fun spells. But every time you lay down spells, you have to do a voice in the formation of your wizard. I was this old like granny wizard, I believe is what it was. And I did this voice of like, this is the after hours tumbling bastard or something like that. And that was my wizard voice that I used, which was a lot of fun. Hanging out with those guys and playing board games at the Hookah University frat house was amazing. Like that was a highlight, obviously. To be able to do stuff like that was so cool. Yeah, it was really cool. Those Aeons were really nice. Jeremy actually had a full setup Aeon as well, so I got to try that, and I thought it was a really, really cool pipe. Let's see, what else can we go over about the expo? Or is it time almost to take some calls to ask other people what they thought about the expo? I got to get that set up.
Definitely take some calls. I would love to hear what the people have to say. Those who went, those who didn't go. You know, while you're getting that set up, Matt, maybe what was that one thing that you like stumbled upon? Maybe you didn't know they were going to be there. Maybe you had a small idea that they were going to be there, but you kind of just stumbled upon their booth and you were like, oh, take a mental note. This is something worth remembering. Was there any moments like that you had at the expo?
Chaos Tobacco was definitely like that for me. Like I didn't know anything about them, obviously, and to actually like see them there and all that stuff, I thought was really cool. And like I said, I was a big fan of what I tried from their line of tobacco.
Welcome.
Okay, I got to make sure that's working. So I thought that was really cool, you know, for a lot of different reasons, obviously. I need to get the phone number posted up. We have a new template that we have planned, but we didn't get to use it on this episode. So let me quickly put the phone number into the screen so people can see it real quick. Give me just a second.
What is the phone number?
The phone
say
number,
it out loud and I'll type it in as you say it, but say it slowly.
319 527 3235.
All right, I posted the phone number in the chat, so it should pop up here in just a moment. That's the number you can call in, talk to us, ask him some questions, give us your input, tell Matt how much you love him, tell Adrian how much you hope he feels better, whatever you want. Good looking out on the Regal, by the way. I'm enjoying it. Oh, Brandon Opperman, did you buy a Regal at the expo? Yes, I know I have a Regal, and I absolutely love that pipe. It's one of my favorite pipes. I think it's just like a classic staple. Ever since I kind of got into hookah, I had a friend of mine that had a Regal, and it was a Regal Queen, and it was a pine. And I always looked at this pipe like, I want a Regal. I could never afford one. But after I got married, after I kind of got my first real job out in the real world after college, I saved up, I bought a Regal, and to be honest, it is still to this day probably one of my favorite investments in the hookah. Like, big shout out to George Johnson and all that he does with those. They're great pipes. They work well. They're well designed. If you have one, you know. If you don't, think about it. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, 319-527-3235 is the number that you can call to join us live right here on the show. We'll ask you a few questions and see how you enjoyed the expo for yourself as well. We already have a caller on the line right now. It looks like area code 313. Who is area code 313?
Hello, this is Cinnamon.
Oh no, we got Cinnamon on the line.
Cinnamon. I've never experienced this in real time.
Cinnamon, how are you doing,
That's 'cause
Cinnamon?
you're not experiencing this in real time. This is Adrian. What's up?
Oh my gosh.
You tricked us. Wait, have you been Cinnamon this whole time?
I'm not going to answer that question.
How are you feeling, Adrian? You
What's
sound a
going
little
on,
under the weather.
Oh, I'm fucked, man. I was fucked coming back from the expo. We went camping over the weekend, and I don't know what the hell I caught, but I am basically dead.
Oh, well, we wish you a speedy recovery,
This
obviously.
is a good podcast. I'm thinking you guys should just do it like this from now on. I like Bracken's face.
He's doing a very good job. We appreciate his help. He's done it with you before, and now he's done it with me. I feel like we're, a threesome, basically.
The BAM.
The BAM, yeah. The BAM.
The BAM.
The BAM.
I was watching this
Bam!
whole podcast, and I was thinking I should have a question to ask these guys, as traditionally callers would. But then you guys basically answered all of my questions, because I'm sure you guys talked in the beginning. I didn't even make the expo itself after driving all the way out to Las Vegas.
Yes, but you
for
did.
the purpose of going to the expo.
But you did get to enjoy the frat house in a lot of ways. What did you enjoy? Let's hear your.
I think I got.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, buddy. No, you go.
I was just gonna ask, what did you think of the frat house? Like, how did you enjoy your time at the HU mansion and stuff?
That was probably. I mean, I did not see the expo firsthand, but if I had to take a guess, that was probably like the coolest part of the entire weekend, and I was there for all 4 days of that. So
We were
pretty
yeah,
neat.
we were
the
there.
after party on Saturday was absurd.
That was insane. There were over 150 people there, and there were 7 or 8 brands there kind of showing their colors. And I honestly, if you didn't have a good time, I blame yourself. But a lot of White Claw was drinking, and we played some beer pong. It was a lot of fun.
So we had a beer pong tournament, actually. And me and Adrian were the AM Hookah team. And we didn't do that bad, Adrian. You thought that we were going to get out in the first round. And boy, oh boy, we made it past the first 2 rounds. And I had a great time. I thought you did a very good job.
Yeah, well, I think we got hustled round 1. I think they didn't want to play anymore, so they let us win.
I'm okay with that. I will take any victory any way that we can get it, man.
It was good. Yo, so how about Tori and Narek showing up in togas?
That was pretty fantastic. From Heaven Leaf, they showed up and they were having people guess their hookah, and they had a prize for it as well.
Did anybody guess that flavor?
I think somebody did at the end. I'll be honest. On Saturday night, I got a little drunk. I drank a little bit and had a very, very good time. But there's chunks of Saturday. I'm like, oh man, I went to bed and don't know what else happened.
Oh yeah, I legitimately blacked out on Saturday. That's where I was while you guys were at the expo. Functionally blacked out, dehydrated in a bed.
Yeah, I did not drink nearly enough water as I probably should have. Well, we appreciate you calling in, Adrian. We hope you a very speedy recovery, obviously. Do you think you're going to be able to do technical difficulties on Friday? Should people be looking out for that?
Yeah, people should probably be looking out for technical difficulties. I got a shitload of Dark Side. So.
Ooh, Dark Side episode. I like the sounds of
I
that.
already got some sweet mixes. It's going to be, it should be good. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but it's going to be some clickbaity Dark Side shit. You guys should love it.
Awesome. Can't wait for it. All right. Well, love you, man. Hope you get better soon.
All right, boys. You have a great rest of your night. Thanks for letting me call into my podcast.
Thanks for calling into your podcast. Bye.
You got it, buddy. Bye.
So meta.
Very meta. What a very meta moment that just was. That was interesting. I called in. Did I call in on the episode that you guys did together? I think I might have.
You did.
Okay, I thought so. It's hard to remember these things now every once in a while. All right, so once again, you can give us a call if you'd like to share your experience, obviously. 319-527-3235 is the number to call. I
There
don't
were a
know.
lot of deals at the expo.
There was some really good deals. That's why I bought this hookah.
Did you get that on? Did they have like a special sale price on that?
They did. Once they told me the price, because I was expecting to spend like $300, $400 for a hookah. That was my expectations, honestly. And when they told me that it was $225 for a full setup, I was like, mine. I gotta get it. That's what I want. That is the hookah that I want to get.
So for the people at home that can't watch, that are listening,
Yes.
basically what you're not seeing is a handcrafted, and Work Bun is a Russian brand. Is that correct? Or is it
German.
So it's a handcrafted German pipe, and it kind of has like a spear-esque look to it. But the cool part, and we've seen this done before, but they use electricity to burn the wood, and it's called the Lichtenberg effect, right? And so they use they pass a current through the wood, and it looks kind of like roots, and then they laid inside the burn some sort of glow-in-the-dark resin. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's glow-in-the-dark. You got to charge it with UV, though. You can't charge it with regular light. It has to be either like a black light, UV light, or it has to be sunlight to actually charge it up. So I haven't got the full effect yet. I'm planning on just putting a black light right over top of it so that I always get that effect on it and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. The base glows in the dark
base
as well.
glows too. Is that right?
Very strong glow on that. That looks really nice.
See, I love when things glow in the dark. A lot of times, though, you kind of see like the downfall of the glow in the darkness because they don't use like a really strong glow in the dark whatever they use.
Yes.
But like from the pictures that John posted on his website, it looks like it has a substantial amount of glow to it.
Yes, it
What
does.
do you say? The lumens are strong or something? I don't know.
And yeah, it has really nice nits. We have another call right now, actually. Phone number or area code 256. Who is this? Area code 256.
My main man, Pots and Pans.
Woo!
What's good with y'all, man?
How you doing, B-Lou? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I just want to hit y'all up, man. Tell y'all I appreciate the hospitality, man. It was phenomenal, man. The best thing by far was being at the house.
Oh man, it was so nice to have you there. I was so glad you're able to make it. By far, when you came through that front door, I was excited to see you, man. How did you enjoy the entire expo, though? What was your thoughts of this Hookah Expo that you went to?
The expo was cool. Friday night was crazy at the house, man. It was freaking bananas. So I was kind of like hooked out, man. I was like smoking a lot, so it was like I was kind of chilling a little bit at the expo.
Yeah.
So, but it was dope though. It was super dope seeing all the brands and yeah, man, it was dope meeting everybody. It was super dope. Yeah.
What was your favorite booth that you were able to experience at the expo?
I think my favorite booth was probably the Zomo booth because I got a chance to smoke that watermelon. But they had the water lemon. They didn't have a watermelon that I liked, but they only had the water lemon.
Yes.
But, I like
Water lemon.
there.
What was that like,
smoking that.
Milu?
Oh, it's dope. It's like a mix between watermelon and lemon. But yeah.
It's exactly like what it
It's
sounds
super
like.
good, though. Right. Yeah.
I thought their booth was honestly just the most sleek looking of all the booths there. Like it just had this really nice clean look to it. When you walked in there, it just felt like you were on this like, I don't know, high fashion type area and stuff. It just took everything to a different level, I thought, which was really cool.
Agreed. Quick question, man. I thought we were gonna get something else to be in VIP, man. We got this bowl. It's like, what's y'all thoughts on that?
So I found out something, and it was far after the fact, and I would love to talk more about this, actually, because I thought the way that it was going to be worked out is I thought that every booth was going to put stuff into, like, a gift bag of some sort, and you were going to get just a big bag for the VIP members, right? It turns out you were supposed to go up to these booths and tell them that you were a VIP member, and then they were supposed to give you some sort of item for being VIP.
Well, how are we supposed to know this? How was this communicated?
It wasn't communicated. I didn't find out till much later on the actual event, which was a very sad note, and it definitely hurt the experience of being a VIP member because I was VIP too. Me and my wife both bought VIP tickets, and literally the majority of stuff that we walked out with was 2 of these VIP bowls. They're sexy looking bowls, but I was expecting a hell of a lot more, and when I found out that I had to go up to all these booths way after the fact, I didn't go up to most of them because I was busy doing other things, obviously. And then, for instance, you left early to go to Evo that was happening there in Vegas as well. You missed out on an opportunity to get stuff that you should have been given, obviously. And I think I think the whole thing when it comes to the VIP could have been handled much better, and it just wasn't handled correctly at all, I felt.
We had a lot of people actually come up to us and tell us that they were VIP members, and we were handing out stuff at the Eternal Smoke booth. So I wonder if it was just like something was said that not everybody heard. Or...
That's what it seems like. I'm with Bilu with you on this for sure. Like, I think that what happened with it was not what was intentional or planned, and sadly, it didn't fall to the way that it should have been. I think completely.
Yeah. But other than that, man, I mean, that's just a little thing, man. But I mean, I got plenty of stuff, man. I was flying too, so we had to consolidate a whole bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of shisha. I got a bunch of ugly, man. That stuff was, man. He was selling $250s for $10.
Yeah, good deals over at the ugly booth. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I love y'all. I can't wait till next year.
Oh, for sure. Thank you so much for calling in, Bilu. We'll talk to you later.
All right, brother.
Bye.
Thanks for calling, Bilu.
All right, let's go ahead and take another caller that we have on the line right now. Area code 682. Area code 682. Who is this?
What's up, guys? It's Moise.
Hey, Moise. How's your chest feeling?
You know, that's actually why I called. Everyone wants to take pictures and videos of me getting waxed, but no one took a picture with me.
I feel so bad that I did not get my picture giving you the bear shirt hug. We messed up. We completely forgot about this. So I apologize on my behalf, at least, for not getting a picture with you.
And Bracken was working, so he has a legitimate excuse, you know. But Adrian, you know, who's faking sick, he probably knew I was going to call. So that's probably why he's faking the sickness, you know.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, we like you a lot, but I don't know if we fear you.
Nah. It's all good in good fun. I just want to talk about some stuff I enjoyed at the expo, man.
Please do. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Give us some of your top some of the things you really enjoyed up there.
So I really enjoyed the baklava. I tried to get Bracken to smoke it. Bracken was not a fan. Eternal, man. So my group, I went with 3 or 4 friends. We ordered 70 cases of Eternal.
What?
Hold on. 70 cases?
Yeah, it was. Oh, sorry. 60 cases of Eternal. No, like 60 cans, 6250s. There we go.
Okay. That sounds a little bit more natural. Okay. What were the flavors that you got in that 60 can order?
So I got 5. I got milk and cookies, lemon pop, which lemon pop's phenomenal, by the way. Milk and cookies, lemon pop, the banana. I got their double apple, and I want to say and the mojito one, the highball, the Cuban highball or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got that as well. So only ones I've smoked so far are the milk and cookies and the lemon pop, just because I've been so addicted to lemon pop.
I need to try
it. It's good,
it.
right?
It's so good. Like a lot of people say they get like a lemon head from it, but I get a little bit of Sprite on the inhale, and then I get lemon head on the exhale.
Huh, interesting. What were some of the other booths that you enjoyed besides the Eternal Smoke and the Sherbetli one?
I really enjoyed the guys at Sky Hookah were like so welcoming because, you know, like I've talked to them online, but I've never met them in person, right? So meeting them in person was a complete different experience. Like Gregory threw me a can of Frigate, which I'm probably never going to smoke because I know I can't handle it, you know? Like,
you can mix Frigate with like your normal blonde leaf, and it will add a little bit of kick. So you don't have to go full Frigate.
Oh, okay. So that's good to know. I'll probably hit you up next time we're on Hangs for a mix on that, you know?
There you go.
But that was really cool. Jomo was really sleek. I really enjoyed the Chaos booth as well. I thought that was pretty cool.
I liked it. I enjoyed the flavors from Chaos too. Did you get to try many of the flavors that you enjoyed?
Yeah, I forgot what their mint was. Mega Mint or whatever the hell it was.
I had Iceman. Iceman was the mint that I tried.
Yeah, I think it was maybe Iceman. I'm just like making up names, you know?
But, it's okay.
I mean, you know me. I like women, so I saw the females, and you know that's what attracted me. But
tight-fitting dresses.
Yeah, you know, like I can't say no to that. But you know who we didn't give a shout out to? Who needs a shout out?
Please.
I want to give a major shout out to not only Hookah University, but like Daniel, dude. That guy was just behind the kitchen counter, smoking and smoking and cooking for us, dude. And that was fucking awesome.
Yes, we're going to give a big shout out to Hookah University at the end of the episode for sure, because those guys absolutely killed it. Chris did an amazing job being so hospitality with everybody, and just the entire thing just felt like it was at home. You know, the one thing about this community, and I think that you can speak to it very well, is Moise, because like we have all these conversations happening online all the time, and the moment we see each other, it's like we just get to pick up on a conversation that we already started, and it's so much fun to like. There's no ice breaking that's already been done, and we're just all friends, and it feels so natural to pick up these conversations again.
And another thing is, like, one of my friends is a big wrestling fan, so, like, we met Mike Blackstone there. And literally him and Mike Blackstone just sat down at Fumari and talked wrestling for, like, 20 minutes while I was gone.
That's fantastic.
And my friend's not even into groups. Like, he's just in the Ringside Hookah group.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, dude, you guys are, like, so welcoming. And Mike Blackstone, you know, is someone I haven't had a lot of interaction with, and I thought that was so cool of him just to, like, talk to my friend for that long about it, you know?
That's what we are, man. A good hookah community just feels like family, and I think that we hit that nail on the head very well, honestly. Well, that's awesome. Did you get so besides the Eternal Smoke, did you buy anything else from the expo, Moise?
Yes, my group bought 6 Zara Spade minis.
Ooh, those are nice. Those were cheap too. They had such a good price there.
$65 for the full setup. You can't beat that.
That was really. I almost got one of those as well, because that was the Czar Spade hookahs. Obviously, lots of people have seen them, and they're doing like 3 different sizes: the full size, a medium, and then a mini as well. And these minis look really, really nice. And the vases on those minis were sexy too.
And then, I got the rose gold with the amber base,
Ooh.
and then I got the baklava, which goes to your hookah, by the way. So be careful.
I'll watch out.
And
Baklava?
And yeah, the baklava does ghost hookahs.
Very nice.
And the last thing that I got was I met up with Tam right before he left to go back to Cali,
Mm-hmm.
and we bought like 7 superior legacy hoses.
Very, very cool. A lot of people are loving those legacy hoses. There's a lot of good. There's a
Using
lot.
one right now.
I got to try it at the expo too, and I thought that they were pretty nice as well.
And here's a trick for you guys. If you go with a group of 3, 4, 5 people, and you all know what you want, and you talk to the person, you can work out a deal and be like, yo, we're buying 4 or we're buying 5. And the higher the number gets, the better deal you're going to get.
Oh, absolutely. That's for sure. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Moise, for calling. We appreciate it. As always, we're going to take our final call of the evening, but you stay
Thanks
good.
for calling in, Moise.
Hope your chest is feeling better. If you guys didn't know, we waxed HU into Moise's chest, not because we held him down, but because he wanted it done to him. He asked for this to happen.
Y'all are family. I had to do it.
I don't know about that.
All right. Bye, Moise. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care.
Bye. All right, and we'll take our final caller of the evening, area code 510. Who is this 510?
Oh, hello everybody, it's me again.
How's it going, Paul? How are you doing, Tito Paul? How you doing?
Chilling, man. I just got home.
Very nice. So let's go ahead and talk about the HU frat party real quick, because obviously, Paul, very big part over there at the Hookah University, and you guys did an amazing job at the frat house, making sure that everybody felt welcome. You guys killed it when it came to the actual event on Saturday for the beer pong tournament, obviously, but you guys were amazing. And what was some of the funner things that you got to experience being a part of that house and helping put on that event?
So the biggest thing that I thought was a great takeaway was everybody at the house pitching in.
Okay.
I thought that was fantastic. Everybody just kind of like, you know, they didn't need to be asked. Everybody was like, "Oh, we're throwing a party. Okay, let me put the cups here. Let me pick up a table and put chairs over here." So it wasn't just us throwing the party. It was everybody else that stayed with us that was throwing the party. And I thought that was really cool. And it was like, okay, well, this is what a community is, right?
Mm-hmm.
A community just comes together, they do things together, and they have fun.
That's a good way to put it.
I thought that was the biggest takeaway, because at the end of the day, you know, we picked up a hookah, however tired we were, and we just kicked off the conversation right where we left off. And to me, that's not just a sign of community, but a sign of like true friendship, right? Where I can cut off a conversation with Matt right now, and you know, 2 days from now, a week from now, we see each other, we interact with each other, and we just pick it up right where we left off. You don't need to skip a beat. It was the same way which was great, was like when we met Bilu. You know, like nobody knew who he was. Nobody knows how he looks like because he's not on Facebook. He's just here on the AM Hookah Podcast. And right when we heard his voice, we were like, "Oh my God, you are Bilu!"
It was fantastic.
And it was automatic, like you're already my brother. It's like that's it. And then we just, you know, the conversation just picked up from there. We all shared a bowl together. I thought that was the best part, and it was the same way at the expo.
Absolutely.
Right? You would see George at Regal, and he'd say hi to you, and you just pick up the conversation wherever you left off, and it was like you guys didn't even skip a beat. Like the human interaction from Facebook to real life was seamless.
So,
and I thought that was the greatest part of the expo.
So out of the stuff that you were able to enjoy at the actual expo itself, what was some of the booths and different things that you saw there that you really enjoyed?
At the booth, I really enjoyed actually like hanging out with Basim and sitting down at the Nirvana little tent area. I thought that was great. I enjoyed having conversations with Ron, with seeing Neve around, just doing the stuff with Azur. I enjoyed like sitting down at Eternal Smoke and kind of like making that my home base.
Mm-hmm.
One, because Bracken was there and I'm really comfortable with my homie. Like just being there and like, doing his thing. But also because they had video games. And I liked losing a lot to people in Mortal Kombat. That was fun.
I should have set up a spot to go up there and try to get some people to challenge me so I could show off my mad skills that I usually show off on the Gamecast. That's what I should have done. I should have been like, who wants to play me at some Mortal Kombat and lose? And I'll probably be the one that lost.
Yeah, I thought that was a really smart idea. Ariel convinced me to buy 8 cans of Eternal Smoke. I don't regret any of them. They're great. Yeah, I got I did miss out on some of like the Zomo stuff. I missed out on some of the ugly stuff because as I was walking around, you would get pulled to the side, and then you're like, "Oh my God, you're X, Y, and Z from the group," and then all of a sudden, like 2 hours later, you're like, "Oh my, I need to see the rest of the expo. I forgot."
It was easy to like not see everything, and I say that in the best way possible because there was so much that was happening around the expo that it's easy to like go over here and lose so much time doing this thing over here that you really had to try to plan out everything that you were doing to try and see as much as you could. You're obviously very much a part of Hookah University. And you were a part of some of the stuff that they did for the Hookah Battle. The Hookah Villains are the winners of the Hookah Battle here in the USA. It was a beautiful sword in the stone hookah that David Harris was able to 3D print, and it just looked fantastic. What was your takeaway from the Hookah Battle this year?
I thought they did it. So I didn't have a actual part in the Hookah Battle. I knew what they were doing.
Oh, okay.
And I listened to all the planning aspects of it while we were on hangs and just kind of hanging out. It was hours and hours of work, of modeling, of
days,
3D
not hours,
printing, of prints that failed and they had to redo stuff. And I was like, seeing it all come together at the end made me really proud of what they did, and knowing the hours of dedication that they did just to get to that point also was like, okay, yeah, you guys deserve this. That's
awesome. It was really cool.
It was months. Yeah, it was months and weeks of planning,
yeah,
honestly, and they deserve that. They did a good job.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Paul, for calling in. We appreciate it, as always, obviously. Thank you for watching the show and supporting us. We appreciate it. I can't wait for the next meetup. Are you going to be in Chicago?
I'm trying to make it to Chicago. It all pans out. I'll probably have a definitive answer in the middle of September of whether I can make it or not. And then, yeah, I'm hoping to make it, though. Chicago was a blast last year. That's where I really got to interact in a smaller, closed environment with a lot of people in the community. So I'm hoping to be able to do that again.
That's awesome. I hope you're able to make it. I hope that I'm able to make it. I'm trying to figure it out to make sure that we can or can't, but we'll definitely figure it out in the future for sure. But thank you so much, Paul, for calling. We appreciate it as always.
You too, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Bye, Paul.
So we just got somebody that called in right now. Do we want to take one more call? Is that cool with you?
Let's take one more call. Shout out to Wayne. He dropped in the chat. Him and David just popped in.
Yes.
Verifying they spent over, if not more than, at least in the roundabout time frame of 900 hours.
Wow.
That they spent perfecting that. And big shout out to everybody who showed up to the hookah battle.
Yes.
It only is what it is because people show up and they're creative and they're having fun. But there can only be one winner, and this year was the Hookah Villains.
Yes.
So their pipe was awesome. It looked cool. It not only was it functional, it was aesthetic. And the coolest part was the Resin King handle that they were smoking out of, right? When they're not using that hookah, it actually fits onto the top of the sword. So when they pull the sword out of the stone, it has a hilt. It has a handle.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Very, very cool.
That's all you can say. It was cool. Who's our caller?
Congratulations to David Harris, Wayne Gonzalez, and also Jeremy Bird. They were the Hookah Villains. They were the winners of that. It was really was fantastic. Area code 718. Who is area code 718?
Yo, it's Dr. Noob Sauce.
Hey, how you doing, Chris? What are you up to, man?
I'm smoking. I'm watching. I'm glad I didn't have to call and wait 3 hours this time. I got immediate VIP service. Those wristbands paid off. This is fantastic.
I'm a little less
Chris?
drunk this time.
No, yeah. Well, what I'm smoking some Nirvana and some little remnants of some Rio Mint that I have. I apparently smoked out of all of it in probably less than a week, so that's not good.
Jeez.
Oh, no.
It's easy to do that. It's very good.
It's released now, so there is more available.
Yes. It'll be much easier to come by.
So you guys over here talking about the expo and everything, man. It was a blast.
What was your favorite booth? Last year, you did a ton of videos that you were trying to get footage for. You did a few this year as well, and you've already started to release them over on your channel for Hookah University on YouTube, and then also on Dr. Noob Sauce channel on YouTube as well. Was it any different this year in comparison to last year for what you're able to see?
Yeah, I saw absolutely nothing. I think I hung out with the Sky Hookah guys. I didn't get to do much. I spent a lot of time over at Azure, Eternal Smoke, a little bit by Fumari. I said what's up to Omar Paca. I tried to get over to Zomo, but they were so far in the corner, it was hard to get like that rotation down.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most of my time was actually at Basim's tent for Nirvana, basically just sitting down in there and getting a couple seconds or minutes to myself where I didn't really have to talk to anyone, where I could actually just smoke a hookah, because I really didn't get a chance to try anything.
No, that's too bad.
No,
I feel like you should have had more of an opportunity to try some stuff. There's some good stuff there.
I missed a lot of booths like Maya. I missed Chaos. I barely went to the Alpaca booth because I only went there when I saw Mike and Dom.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't get a chance to enjoy it. It wasn't great for me because I was doing so much stuff.
We got to get you
that's my own fault.
We got to get you to be just doing nothing next year. We got to get a plan together so you have at least a good 5-hour block where you just get to be you and you just get to go and hang out and try some stuff next year.
I don't. You know what? I don't see it happening. I don't think. You know why? Honestly, when you become like a personality and you know so many people and your face is on the internet,
yeah.
You lose that chance to just go and do stuff yourself. You lose that whole a face in the crowd type thing,
mm-hmm.
and you don't realize how much you miss it until you're doing so much stuff.
Yeah, you have a lot going on.
Yeah, so I don't think it's possible for me, but I definitely agree that next year I definitely need to actually just chill out and make a list of things I want to do while I'm there and cross them off as I go.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you were a big part of the frat house that happened this year in Vegas, obviously, and thank you so much for just everything that you did to put into that to make it the amazing party and the place to honestly be when you weren't at the expo. By far, that was the place to be. What were some of your takeaways from the house? Did you get to enjoy? I know from firsthand experience, from being there with you, obviously, you only had X amount of time to be able to hang out there at the house and be smoking by the pool and stuff. But when you did get that little bit of time at the house, how did you enjoy that?
Well, I think the only day I really got to sit there was probably the first day and probably Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But being there Sunday and talking to everyone was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun just to put my feet in the water and relax and realize, you know what, all the work's over. I can actually enjoy this like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the credit, I did a lot of work, but I think I did too much work. But a lot of the credit goes to Paul and Wayne and Jeremy and Travis for stepping up, especially when I passed out at 11 o'clock on a party night. Old man status over here. But you got to do what you got to do to get some sleep in Vegas, because sleep is not easy to come by. So, but I really enjoyed just the times where it was maybe like 15 people around, and we're just sitting there and we're talking about, hookah, we're talking about each other's life and, what we want to do and stuff like that. You get into the deep conversations over a whole bottle of whiskey, and that's usually the time I'm actually, like, unwinding and relaxing and enjoying it.
Absolutely. It was a ton of fun. Well, it's always great to hang out with you, Chris. Are you going to be in Chicago by chance?
Well, if everything lines up, I will be there. I will definitely, it's on my list. It's on my bucket list of things I want to finish off this year. Chicago's usually always a great time. It's a smaller audience, but it's a really tight-knit audience, and I think it's super chill, especially when you're coming from something that's so, like, high, like, octane, high energy, like the Expo. To go to something smaller, you definitely, like, enjoy the smaller atmosphere. And I always appreciate going with, like, Jeremy and sitting down with the Sky Hookah guys and drinking a whole bottle of fucking vodka there.
Well, that's fantastic. We thank you so much for calling in. Appreciate it as always. Well, I'm sure we'll be talking again in the near future, okay?
Okay, see you later. Bye.
Bye. Okay, that'll be it for the calls. We appreciate you guys calling in a ton. Absolutely appreciate it. This has been a really fun episode. We didn't cover nearly the amount of stuff that I wanted to cover, but there's just so much to talk about, obviously, that it's just going to be something that we maybe check in on every once in a while, obviously. But this really was a ton of fun. And I don't know, is there any final thoughts that you want to go over a little bit, Bracken?
I think we pretty much said everything that there was to be said in the time frame. I mean, like you said it very well. Like, there was a lot we wanted to talk about, but the Hookah Expo Worldwide is such a big event that we can't just sit here and talk about everything. So
there's a lot.
But that's a lot of good content that we can leave for another day, another episode, another AM Hookah Podcast.
I have one more thing that I want to quickly show off. I actually got this as a gift through one of the listeners, and I want to say thank you, obviously, very, very much. But this was something that was gifted to me.
Wow.
This is just phenomenal. It's an old school, Indian style hookah. It's beautiful. This is all wood right here. And then it has, I believe it's probably brass, all these pieces and stuff.
Wow.
All this stuff is just so cool looking.
Who sent that to you?
It was a really good listener. I don't know if I have his permission to say who it was.
Okay.
I don't want to. I just, for obvious reasons and stuff like that. But it's so very much appreciated. You're such. I can't say thank you enough. Like, out of everything that I was able to get and do over the weekend in Vegas, to come home to this was absolutely phenomenal. So I just want to say thank you so much for sending this to me. I'm going to really appreciate it. I'm going to love it. I'm going to have it displayed, and it's going to be always in the background. You're going to see this all the time. I can't say thank you enough about this. Honestly, thank you very, very much. It's very cool.
It's a beautiful piece. It's not necessarily a piece that you're going to use, because I don't think so. I don't even know if it would work.
I mean, it might. I would probably want to try to clean it the best that I could. Not because I think the person that owned it before me is dirty, but because it's
100 years old.
Exactly. It's just really old, obviously. Oh, by the way, there is the video of Moise getting his chest hair taken off, by the way, on the channel. So make sure you guys go and check that out. It's like, it was...
I was not in the same room as this happening, but you could hear it happening from everywhere in the mansion. You just heard these shrills of, what did I get myself into?
So Khaled just gave me permission to say that it was from him. It was from our listener, Khaled, is the one that actually sent it to me. So thank you so much, Khaled. I appreciate it so very much. Like I said, I got to enjoy this wonderful time in Vegas at the Hookah Expo, and then to come home to that was phenomenal. It was so awesome. Thank you so much, Khaled. Appreciate it a ton. Yes, it's Bridget's new hookah because it won't get used. Exactly.
Oh.
So very quickly, I want to run down a few names very, very fast. I'm going to try not to forget anybody. I know I'm going to, so I apologize, but I very quickly want to give huge shout outs to Travis Green, Travis Leader, Jeremy Bird, Raul, Dr. Noob Sauce, Chris, obviously, Maggie and Kenneth Salter, my man, Pots and Pans, Bilu. I want to give a big shout out to Bracken for being such an awesome guy and be able to hang out with him. Moise as well. Megan over there at the Hookah House. Crystal as well over at the Hookah House. I mean, just so many people. Like I said, I know I'm going to forget names, so I apologize, but I don't want to, but I want to give out some shout outs to you guys because you were amazing. Nathan, somebody that got to hang out with over at the house as well from, I believe it's Elder Hookah Lounge. Please correct me.
Elder, if you're in Arizona, go to Elder Hookah Lounge. Those dudes are awesome.
Yes. and even more names, obviously, that I want to shout out as well. David Harris. David Harris, actually, I bought one of the Spire mouth tips that he makes, the 3D printed mouth tips that I think are absolutely fantastic. And I'm an idiot, and I lost mine because I'm an idiot. And I bought this one from him instead, one of the original ones that he ever printed. And I think that was really cool that he did that. Kyle Smith as well. So fantastic to hang out with him again. By the way, Kyle Smith lied to me for a second time in a row when it came to meetups. He told me he wasn't going to be able to, or he never said anything about making it to New York, and he showed up there out of the blue. And then here in Las Vegas, I'm literally on the phone with him, okay? I'm literally on the phone with Kyle Smith, and he's like,
Hello?
I'm not going to be able to make it. Yeah, exactly. Kyle, where are you?
I'm not there.
Are you going to make it?
No, I'm not going to be able to make it.
Are you going to be late and just show up a different day?
No, I'm not going to be able to make it, Matt.
We miss you so much, Kyle. I hope. All right, bye, Kyle. And then I turn around, and there he is, out of nowhere. He lied to me once again. That guy, I love him so much. I can't believe him. But still. Anyways, all right, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up for the show. I apologize if I didn't say your name. Daniel, love you, man. It was so good to hang out with you. Eddie, my one, just the awesome guy. Eddie, Paul, you guys are so cool. Everybody at that house. Sarah was awesome to hang out with. Just everybody. Tony, I can't not
Dan
say.
was there, your real life male pen pal.
Got to hang out with my real life adult male pin pals, and it was so fantastic. Thank you so much to Tony, who I'm so happy I got to hang out with in person, in the flesh. Give him the biggest fucking hug. It was amazing. Jeremy popped my back when he gave me a hug. Like, just the entire experience in a whole was just so good. Like you said, hanging out with Ronald, as Chris was mentioning, like, and other people have too as well. Like, just everybody there at the show. The Oppermans, got to hang out with them, obviously, which was super cool. To everybody that came up and said hello to me, my heart honestly just thanks you so much, because that was amazing. And it was, nothing will ever replace that sort of feeling. This show started because I wanted to do something fun, and to be able to turn it into what it has become a little bit, and to go out to the expo and to say hi to people like that is just absolutely phenomenal. So thank you guys so much for making this experience worthwhile in so many very amazing ways. You guys have all been awesome. Thank you so much for watching the show, being a part of it, and just hanging out with us. We appreciate it as always. And we'll be back, obviously, on Wednesday. There's going to be a video. We hope there's a video on Wednesday, because
Keep your eyes peeled. And if you're not a subscriber, then hit the button. It's a button that you can hit. It's down there somewhere. Hit it. It's a red button, or what is it, red? I think it's red. It might be white. I don't know. Hit it. And then you'll be a subscriber. And then you're like, oh, I love this show. There's a little bell button. You can hit the bell button. That little bell button will notify you when things happen. And hey, you don't want to miss out when things are happening, because FOMO is real. And don't be a victim of FOMO.
What's
2019?
Wait, what's FOMO?
FOMO is fear of missing out.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. Do not miss out on this sort of
We'll have
content.
some serious FOMO if you want to know what's happening and you don't.
If you
So
guys
click
didn't see our last video that went up on Saturday, it was actually me and my wife Bridget. We reviewed the 3rd season of Stranger Things. Go and check out that video as
Spoiler
well.
alert.
Spoilers, lots and lots of spoilers throughout that video, obviously. We hope to do more things like that. Leave a comment on that video and let us know what your guys' thoughts about that kind of video is. Like I said, hopefully there's a vlog that comes out on Wednesday. Friday should be technical difficulties with Adrian. All sorts of fun stuff going on. Bracken, if people want to find you on the internet, where can they look for you?
You can find me lurking the AM Hookah page. You can find me in the background, in the behind the scenes. They let me out of the cave, but they still won't let me on the air all the time. But I'm here now. You can find me here. You can say hello. I'm in the chat always. And if you're on the AM Hookah Facebook page, go be a part of that. If not, do it now. Don't be a loser, and do it and have fun, and don't be whatever else. What did Raul say? He called it a subscribular.
It's a scribular.
Go be a subscribular. Become an official member of the Brickhead Army, and have some fun. I'm also on Hookah University. I moderate over there. So if you say something that I need to take down, I'll take it down, and I'll message you and say, hey, I took it down.
Big shout out to Hookah University and everything they did to make that event extremely fun and exciting. You guys did a phenomenal job. Appreciate it so very much. To everybody watching, hope you guys are smoking and enjoying what it is that you're smoking. And until next time, well, keep on smoking.